Alright, I thought I would record some 3D footage of this game now that I've beaten it. I showed a little bit of it in the review, but I showed it with the red-blue glasses, and I wanted to record it natively so that you can use whatever YouTube features you want, either with cardboard or even with the glasses or with a 3D TV or anything like that. The interesting thing is that I don't have a 3D TV, and since I wanted that clean footage, I'm actually playing it side by side. The video is just squashed. There's two pictures side by side, and they're smashed to half width. So it's a little bit tough to keep my balance and keep things straight in the game. And because of that, it would appear that you're getting half of the resolution. So the game is usually 720p, but in 3D mode, it's actually 1080p, but you're getting two half-width pictures that are being stretched out. So it's half of 1080p. And my recording software can only go to such a bit rate. It's having trouble with two pictures going on right now, but hopefully it looks all right. So I figured I would just skate around a little bit and show you some things, some different types of things you can do in the game, like these shape rails. So actually controlling them in 3D is really cool. It's a lot easier to aim. Of course, I'm not actually seeing 3D like you are, but it was a lot easier earlier. I don't know if that one actually leads anywhere. I was trying it earlier too, and there's like a glowing spot on a ledge, and that's usually what you're supposed to link it to. But in this case, it doesn't really seem... it doesn't seem like you can actually get it to link up with that. Alright, let's give it another try. Yeah, you see the blinking thing right there, it just won't lock onto it. And I don't know where it would go even if I did. Oh well. So you see at the bottom of the screen, that's your flow. I've got blue flow right now. That thing in the back, that right there, yeah, that you unlock that with purple flow. It's like a power box or something that it will turn into that, and that's a challenge, like an extra challenge. So I'll probably give that a try. I don't think I'm getting anywhere with this rail. These things, one of the extra challenges you can do in the game is try to smash them all. But it's really annoying because you have to go the perfect speed. There we go. Yeah, concrete blocks. That's very descriptive. You have to go the right speed or you'll just ollie right over them. Or if you go too slow, you just kind of like bounce off of it. I think there's, what, 20 in every level? I know I haven't gotten many of them. I don't know what happens if you get them all, and I don't really care. The game is fun to play, but, you know, if it's like a... Oh, come on. If it's like a new cutscene or something, I just don't really care that much. There we go. Okay, finally. Alright, so I'm at 10 out of 20. But let's see what this challenge is. Grind as far as possible. Alright. So this is like a broken down roller coaster, I think, and you can grind all the tracks on it. These challenges will just put you in a position, and a lot of times it will not always be the best place to do it. But I'm on a time limit. Now, one of the interesting things, I'm sure this is measuring in feet, but there was one challenge that was actually how many seconds you could be in the air, but it actually wasn't in seconds. Like, I had 2 minutes to do it, and I had to get 300, you know? And the speed that the timer would go up would change based on how fast I was going in the air. So that was kind of messed up. Oh, yeah. Yeah, in the game, you explode into pearls or white marbles or something. It would seem like you're in the Matrix or something. I don't know why that's the design choice they went there. It's probably too hard to animate it or something. So another thing about these special challenges is that you can't easily redo them. I'm going to have to go down to that statue thing again and just reinitialize the challenge. And another thing that happens a lot is that you'll get close to something and you'll try to hit the X button, but you can also ollie with X. And it's really weird because you usually use the analog stick, but for some reason they just put that in there, just a little bonus thing where you could also ollie with X if you wanted to. So it depends on the speed you're going, if you slow down enough. Come on, like right there, I just kept... Alright, hold on. If you slow down enough, it'll work. Alright, here we go. Now, like I mentioned, I don't know if that was really the best spot to do this or not, but let me give it another shot. Because the problem is, now these shape rails, I will get quite a bit, and one of the cool things, if you're actually actively shaping it, you don't lose speed and you don't have to balance. Ah, crap. But that route they give you has all those spines in it, and you're not getting any grind distance. Now, if they started you up at the top of this, I think it would be no problem. Maybe I'll try to grind up and down this thing. The interesting thing with that balance meter is that it's either perfectly balanced or 100% off. And it doesn't really give you a good indication of how likely you are to actually bail. I think in the whole time I played the game, I actually lost balance and fell maybe twice. So you have to be way off balance and just ignore it for a while. Like right there, it was pretty long, and it doesn't matter. So that's kind of a weird thing. I don't know why they even bother making you balance at all, because it's so easy. All right, Matt, what, 260. Oh, I only need 9 more feet. Got a couple more seconds. Here we go. Oh, come on. All right. Is that thing? It's only gonna be like 6 more feet. That was 299. I swear that's what I saw on screen. But that was a stupid way to have to do it anyway, grinding up and down the whole time. I know if I go the other direction, I will eventually reach that spot anyway. I don't know. Let's see if these shape rails will actually work. Because like I was saying with the time, it doesn't count in seconds. I think this is feet, but maybe it's... I don't know. But I'm not covering that much distance when I'm slowing down and stopping at the top of that rail either. So let's give this a try. Alright. Alright, I'm already at 121. Now right here, again, this is why it's not so great, is there's these spines here. That's just eating up my time. I've only got 40 seconds. Okay, I'm gonna go back down. Alright, now this is the rail I was grinding earlier. Okay. Alright, I got, 25 seconds left, and I need to get all the way up to 300. I don't really think this is going to happen. Let me see. Yeah, so when I'm slowing down, my count's slowing way down, and I don't think I'll have enough time. I guess I'll have to do something a little bit different. Alright. Alright, yeah, I'm going to go this way. The thing I was grinding is above me, but if I can stay in this spot, there's a good chance I can grind up and down this rail the whole time. Now, a lot of these extra bonus challenges in the game are really tedious. Like I mentioned, there was the one about getting airtime. That didn't just happen once. I skipped most of these extra challenges, and I did that maybe 5 times in the game. And all you're doing, you pump, and then you air out of the coping, and then you pump, and then you air out of the coping for 3 minutes straight. There's nothing else going on. It's really boring, and there's no chance that you'll lose either because they give you enough time to do it, obviously. So as long as you don't bail, you're fine. One of the other ones was to spin the right number of degrees in the time limit, and the easiest way to do it is to just sit on the ground, just stationary, and ollie and do 360s over and over and over. they put you by a half pipe, but with the time it takes in the flat bottom, it really doesn't leave you enough time to do it all. All right, there we go. Also, the other reason I didn't do them a lot is because I just unlocked that kind of stuff. I got a hat. I did get some more XP. Maybe I'll go try to buy a trick. Now, I'm playing as my character, but when you complete the game, you can pick Shaun White as a skin. So I still have all my normal tricks and all that stuff that I've already purchased. Shaun White, of course, has every trick and all that when you actually play as him in the game. It's interesting, though, because you can get all the flip tricks and all the advanced flip tricks and all the grinds, but there's still a ton of vert stuff. Stuff that I never used and probably won't. You know, different kinds of flips, you know, like there's McTwists and frontside 540s and stuff, but there's one trick Shaun White does. It's like a frontside 540 with a body varial or something. It's got a name, I don't remember what it is. But you could buy that, you can buy a ton of stalls, and just like every other skateboarding game, there's no reason to actually do stalls. Just trying to get some speed going. There's no reason to do stalls ever, so I don't bother to buy them. Yeah, I mentioned in my review the way that the vert feels pretty realistic, which is usually a good thing, but trying to build speed can sometimes take a long time. There are times when I accidentally fell into a bowl that's in the middle of the ground, and you have to pump, you know, 5 walls before you get enough speed to actually air out of it. You can hit R1 and it'll make you grind, you know, like you level out over the coping. But even so, when you start turning, that'll sap away a lot of your speed. You spend a lot of time just doing this kind of stuff, just kind of getting ready to actually skate. So this may have been a part of the game where realism was not really gameplay's best friend. All right, let's see. So I thought in the 3D I played earlier that the vert stuff actually looked really cool. That's something else. You see that I did a trick that was going to take too long, and it just turned red, and I landed anyway. I'm not really sure. I didn't notice exactly what it was. I'm just kind of mashing tricks here. It'll do that sometimes. Sometimes you'll land in like a knee skidded out, and it doesn't punish you for that at all. So your flow is not exactly like a Tony Hawk Special Meter where you bail and it goes away. It just stops building for a minute, and then you can go right back into it. Oh, okay, see right there. And then I just jumped right back on my board and continued the air. See? It's kind of interesting. I guess it knows that it takes so long to get airtime that it just kind of cheats for you a little bit. I always thought it was weird in games that a frontside 540 is its own trick, but then you could also just do a frontside 540. I get why, I know people invert them and stuff, but just that it says the same thing on screen, but it's worth different amounts of points and stuff. Always a little bit weird. Yeah, so these are all the different flip tricks and things. Hard flip cannonball. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone do that. You know, this seems like this is the vert version of everything, but I think some of them are just kind of ripped from Tony Hawk. I don't know anyone who does forward flips on vert either. But I think I've shown you most of that. Like I said, I don't have all the vert tricks. So yeah, these things, those vert ramps, the quarter pipes, they're kind of cool, but they don't always work. If you ollie before you reach the top, then it won't stay there. So right now, if I went back to that quarter pipe, it would still exist. But if I didn't get all the way to the coping and ollie just an inch too low, it would disappear, and I would have to do it again. Alright, let's go over here. So, although the game isn't open world and is divided into sections, the sections are pretty big. So I can't really fault the game for that. And they all have a different feel, like, you know, this one. It's like an old carnival, and it's got all kinds of broken down rides and things like that, as opposed to the actual downtown type of stuff. One thing that I would like to see a little more is, well, what did I do? Okay. Yeah, see, it turns red, but it doesn't actually punish you sometimes if you mess up. One thing I would like to see a little more is the people. In the downtown levels, there's always people around. and you know, they'll be in a color. They'll either be yellow or blue, and you can use your flow to like turn them into cool skater guys. It's kind of funny because sometimes there'll be somebody actually working. You know, they have like a torch and they're welding something, and then you skate by and they're suddenly like looking at their phone or whatever, because Freedom is not ever doing any work. Although nobody has worked on this roller coaster in a while. So some of the other things that you can do in the game, there are these tags that are just things that you can collect in weird spots. So sometimes there are some of those shape rails that you'll never use, or you don't need to use anyway, and they'll lead up to one of these collectibles. So you can see one up there, up ahead. I'm going to try to go get it. I gotta match the floating. There we go. So you can grab these things, and they're in every level. Again, I don't really know what you do with them. And one of the other things you can do is get presents. So there's just like a green. Should I? Okay, so there's the thing. Yeah, I'll just. So there's the like these green containers. Oh, come on! I'm going straight uphill the whole time. I don't know how I'm supposed to keep speed with that. There's these green presents that you can pick up, and you just open them up, and there's hats and shirts and stuff like that in there. One thing I forgot to show in my review was, let's see if I can jump off and get push again real quick, is when I first set up my character, when I went to the create a character screen, it would not let me actually set up my clothes and stuff. Like I would set up my facial or skin tone or whatever it was, and then you hit next and nothing happened. It just like, it scrolled through them all real quick, and then I couldn't actually set any of that stuff up. So my character throughout the whole review is pretty much default. I think I changed my board, and I think I may have went back and changed my shirt at some point. But I don't know why that didn't work. It was like I was holding down the right button or, you know, whatever, and just skipping next the whole time. All right, well, I don't know what else there is to do. I don't want to go to another level. It takes so long to load. Look at that. It takes so long to load that I don't know if I really care to wait for 10 minutes to show you something else. But overall, this game was actually really good. The 3D stuff is a pretty cool feature, but overall, I mean, like I mentioned, I paid $4, you know, and I probably could have gotten it cheaper. That was just, you know how you buy used on Amazon and the game cost a cent, but they charge $3.99 shipping. So I managed to get the game for $4, and, you know, I played it, I don't know, I played it at least 5 hours through the story. And I skipped a lot. Like I said, I skipped all the cutscenes. I skipped all the bonus stuff. I just went right for the ending as quickly as I could. I played the game before, and I didn't really care to do all that. Oh, there's one arrow there. I didn't notice that. Well, that's about it. Thanks for watching. I don't know if I'll do any more of these in the future. I just wanted to show off the 3D stuff without having to upload the whole review in 3D. But that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.